Oh man. How long have I been out? Have I been posting videos? No, I couldn't have been posting videos. I was dead. He beat me up. I mean, I can't post videos when I'm dead, right? Right, guys? Okay, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I haven't been posting anything lately. It's been very busy on my main channel, and I have been lazy about it, so here's a video. Today we're going to be talking about River City Ransom, or as I knew it, street gangs. I never really got why it was called street gangs here. I mean, I understand that there are streets and gangs, and that's the point. But what part of the original title would we not get? Me no get there's a ransom in River City. Me no understand. But weird title swaps in games could be an entire video in itself, so I'll just leave it at that. Brought to us by Technos Japan, in August 1993, at least in the PAL region, Street Gangs became a game I would grow to love. The idea of the game was fairly simple. You'd go around beating dudes up trying to save your girlfriend, and then their leader Slick is sending waves of enemies against you to stop you for some reason. Why is he doing this again? It didn't matter to me. I was having too much fun upgrading my character to beat the shit out of the next guy that opposed me. Watching them squirm on the floor as I stamped their face in, their last breath, muttering their final words before they die. Like, BARF. Really? BARF? Alright, I mean, if you fucking insist, you're the game developer. I suppose when I think about it, this game was really my first introduction to RPG elements within different genres. It was ideally a beat-em-up, but you could buy and upgrade your character with certain abilities and stat upgrades. And I loved it! Okay, before I move on, this image. I know I am definitely not the only one that thought, what the fuck with this? More importantly, what's going through her mind when she sees him eat the plate?
Enjoy your meal, sir.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Sir, what are you doing? Oh, God!
Anyway, no matter how much I loved it, I do admit it has some flaws though. When I was young, I used to die a lot, and I wondered why. My young brain couldn't get around the fact that the stats were more important than I thought. This game can become quite a grind, especially if you want to be efficient at the fights, unless you know how to exploit the AI. The areas you go in would randomize what gangs you face, and some were more rewarding than others, as well as a lot more difficult than others. It was a bit of a risk and reward system. You want more money? Well, you better fight some tougher enemies. But the real kick in the balls is when you die. The penalty for death is you lose half of your money. Do you mean all that time beating up those guys was worth nothing? It's okay, I won't get annoyed. I'll just reload my old save before I died. I guess death isn't too bad. Let me just get my password and reload my save. Why is this necessary? I mean, I kind of get why it's necessary, but god damn it, this was the most infuriating password system I've ever seen. You have to keep track if they're uppercase, lowercase, some of them even have an accent. And if you get one thing wrong, that's it. You're losing your save game. This stupid password system just made me lose all of my data. I can't... I need a drink. There we go. Just what I needed. And do you know what else? I kinda have to thank the game for that. This game actually doesn't direct you very well at all. But if you do know what you're doing and which bosses to defeat where and when, you can actually beat the game in a couple of hours. Of course, back then I didn't know how to trigger the bosses or in what order they had to be done in or where some were. And if it wasn't for the fact the password system was so complex, I don't think I would have played this game as much. And a lot of the time I was playing this game cooperative with a friend. The co-op was definitely the game's strong point, and an old friend of mine who used to live across the road from me used to come over and play it with me all the time. Well, this or Streets of Rage. Oh, what youthful nights we spent trying to beat the game and failing miserably because we didn't know how to get anywhere in it. I guess this might have been one of the first beat-em-up games to try an open world, but where do I go? Can I get like a map or a compass or something? I keep the cart around and try and keep it in good condition as it has a lot of memories. I suppose it was one of my first co-op experiences, and I would encourage anyone who wants a really good co-op game to go out and grab this if they can. But, funny enough, the first time I actually figured out what I was meant to do, I was playing it solo. So the way to trigger the bosses is by defeating the enemies within a certain area. Once they're all gone, the boss pops out and does his evil one-liner. Once you've defeated the first boss, it sets off a trigger that allows the second boss to be spawned when you've defeated the enemies in that area. At least that's how I remember it when I was young. Looking back, there might be only certain bosses that trigger certain bosses to appear, and some might be optional bosses just for extra money. But I'm pretty confident there's some kind of order to trigger the spawning of the bosses. I think the bit that messed us up the most was the backtracking we had to do at one part. So I go back to Sherman Park and beat the crap out of Blade. He's telling me if I want the main boss man, I need to beat the God of Thunder. Then you beat up Turk, which is why I think there are optional bosses.
Then I go beat up my mojo. Look for Thor in the factory's back room.
Thor is actually where the bosses start to get really difficult if you don't know how to AI loop them. And this is the bit we always used to get stuck at because we didn't know about the boss order. This door never opened and Ivan never came out to fight us. But do everything correctly and he will indeed show his face and you beat the crap out of him. Whee! You raid the school, annihilating anything that stands in your way. You reach the top and fight the twins. I won't go on about the twins too much because I mentioned them in my top 5 retro bosses. But to sum it up, oh my god, this fight is epic. I died to him too. It was bad. You go through those doors and you face Slick. And he's a pushover. And I think it's just the fact that he's alone. With the twins, before this, you had to worry about what the other guy was doing, and we had to try and beat up one of them while keeping the other one down. Where in this, the usual AI loops work. You beat him up, he says something that wraps up the story. You haven't seen the last of me, Alex. I'll be back and I won't forget this. Yeah, I could only wish. And that was it. Street Gangs. Congratulations on beating a great, fun game. Even today, I wish there was like a sequel or something. Not really many games do this kind of gameplay anymore, which is a shame, because it's a lot of fun. The only thing that was close was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And I'd love to see one with updated graphics and slight gameplay tweaks that make it interesting and different, like Double Dragon Neon. I can dream, I suppose. Maybe an indie developer one day will work on something, but until then, I'm just gonna have to go with the original. Hey guys! Facebook. Like me please. Insert witty comment here. More importantly, Twitter, so you can keep up to date on how lazy I'm being about the new episode and why I haven't uploaded in months. No, but seriously, if you stuck around, thank you. The main channel has been taking up most of my time, but I'm glad to be back, at least, my hope. I'm going to try my best to keep things up to date. But if you're new here, click on the left video to check out the last Pixelated memories I did on a game I actually dislike. Or if you've already seen that and don't know about my gaming channel, click the video on the right to be taken to the latest Dragon Block C episode, a DBZ-based Minecraft mod. And thank you for watching Pixelated Memories. I hope to see you again soon?